Hello everyone! Behold, it's here. It's been here for a couple weeks, but I've been preoccupied doing other things that have made it hard for me to get through Scarlet Nexus. My thoughts so far are probably about 30 hours plus through the game. I did a lot of side activity. There's a weird bug with quick resume and the in-game timer, and it says I've been playing for over 120 hours. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly how long I've been playing the game. Probably like 20, 40 hours, somewhere in that. I think it was at 29 last time I checked, and I come back to the game whenever I have an hour or so to play it. I have been busy doing other things, and it's been unfortunate that I haven't gotten to play it more because I absolutely love Scarlet Nexus. This might be my favorite game of the year so far. I would maybe call it it's definitely the new IP of the year. There's been a lot of sequels and things like that. This is the game so far in 2021 that I've been like, yes, this is fantastic, and I absolutely enjoyed this game. I love the world. You know, sometimes you play a game and the world's whatever. Like Resident Evil, even Resident Evil Village, the world, like what you could do in the environments was fine, you know? It was something that was cool. But the world in Scarlet Nexus, you see all sorts of things. There's restaurants, there's people on the streets, there's different factions, there's like political intrigue. There's more than just a single city, which I kind of like. But let's give you a little backstory. Right now you're seeing footage of Kasane Randall. She's a member of the OSF, which is a special task force that fights Other. Others are some sort of thing that humanity does not quite understand that much and come from a place called the Extinction Belt. Okay, I have caught you up on the majority of the important details of the back. Kasane is adopted. She has an older sister, Naomi, who is also in the OSF. She has a time ability where she can see a few seconds in the future. Well, she gets premonitions, I suppose. I like the characters. There's not a lot of characters that I don't like. Sinden is one of the characters I don't like. You might see him pop up a couple times, but I don't actually take him on missions because he's such... he's one of those characters like very egotistical, and he, you know, he thinks he's better than other people, and I don't like people like that in real life. Why would I want to play with one on my team? I had to put up with him because he's in the party, and yeah, he gets better, but why would I want to play with him on my team when I could have Mom and Arata? That is spring. So I don't want to spoil you people with just good combat footage, but that's all I'm going to give you because the story footage... The story is told through what I would describe as comic book-like cutscenes. It's definitely an acquired maybe not acquired taste, but it's not fully animated all the time. Like, you'll show characters in kind of a codec style talking, if you've played Metal Gear ever in your life. And I don't mind. I really don't mind the dialogue. I would say it's... the cutscenes are take it or leave it, but when my game of the year last year was Death End Request 2, you are allowed to tell me that I am... what is the word? Biased. Biased, because I don't mind that kind of storytelling. Because yes, it's cheaper and easier than doing fully animated cutscenes, but do you really need fully animated cutscenes? I don't know. It's still fun to me with how weird this game is. It seems to be doing well. People are having trouble getting physical copies of Scarlet Nexus, and that hopefully bodes well for its sales. I honestly very much have enjoyed my time with Scarlet Nexus, and would totally recommend it to anyone who likes over-the-top combat games, because this is not realistic at all. Like, look at these sweet double jumps, these out of nowhere momentum, holding yourself up in the air with your attacks. It's not as complicated as something like Astral Chain, which can get very complicated with mechanics and requires you to use the second analog stick to control your pet. This game is much more user-friendly, I would say. In a way that makes me enjoy it more. I've been playing through Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. I picked up a copy, and I've been enjoying it. The problem for me is that some combat encounters are just so difficult. Not because I'm not good at the game, but because it requires you to switch protagonists a lot of the time. And well, there's a few times Scarlet Nexus switches up the team composition on you. You get to a point where you get to pick who you want to have. And a lot of the characters are pretty fun. And I do like them. Controls are good, fast and responsive. I have heard from a couple people who tried the demo on PlayStation 4 Pro. I don't have many friends with an Xbox One X, so I couldn't tell you, but on PlayStation 4 Pro, it ran at 30 FPS and the camera movement was wonky. So it might have actually been running at like an uncapped 45 FPS or something. But it is pretty solid here. Digital Foundry had a excellent video on how the performance is, and it does dip a couple times, but it's hardly noticeable. Because they're just so minor. Or you have it in slowdown, so everything looks weird. Like there, I had it in slowdown while I was hypervelocity, which makes you faster or just slows down time. So yes, there's cosmetics in this game. If you're looking for something like bikinis or anything like that, I haven't seen any. I know some people were very upset about that. And we're like, I'm not buying the game because we can't have bikini characters. if that's the way you want to live your life, that's totally cool, but I still love this game. I unlocked the white uniforms rather than the black ones that you start with, and I liked it better. There is a special outfit you can unlock by watching the anime and getting codes. I'm sure they'll be up on the internet eventually, so if you haven't picked up the game yet, or are thinking about asking for it for Christmas, or saving for a Christmas sale, because I'm sure there'll be some sort of sale closer to Christmas. There usually is for games. I'm sure the codes will be all over the internet, and you'll be able to get the special anime-only outfit, or you could watch the anime and you get the codes for the lady who runs the restaurant where everyone hangs out. I want to touch on the anime for a second because while I haven't watched it, a lot of people who have looked at it said it was just a retelling of the game story, which is kind of a letdown. I was hoping it would be like a prequel and we could see a little more of Asane and Naomi and even Yuito and Nagi before they joined the OS app, or maybe in basic training, because you come after they've been promoted to like field operatives basically. And I don't hate where they started the story. I really don't. I think it works absolutely fine. And I think the game is just, it's fantastic. Chef's kiss. If I gave scores to games, which I don't because I think scores are dumb, but I'll use my rating system, I would rate it as an excellent, which is my highest. It's got good music, even if sometimes it doesn't exactly fit the mood. It's got great visuals, a big visual identity. I love the cell shading. I think cell shading is one of those things that always looks good or gives that very anime-esque aesthetic. It works well in these kind of games. It's got good combat. I'm not a huge fan of the like weapon upgrade system. You could have done the Devil May Cry thing and just not had to upgrade your weapon, just upgrade your stats or points. The weapon upgrades feel kind of superfluous, but I was never really hurting for exchange items. So you don't have to just buy items with money. So there's money, but you can also exchange. It's like combat debt or something. They're weird orbs and things. Enemies drop them, you pick them up. You know the drill. You played video games. And you can exchange them for things that you can give your party members or your platoon mates to make them happy and increase their bond level. Or, you know, add-on gear. The plug-in chips they're called, because there's software on your brain, which is weird. But it's fine. It's science fantasy. Let's just enjoy it for what it is. Games don't need to live in reality. Let's go. There's also healing items like the jelly you've seen. There's like a coffee type thing. If they were gonna make a Scarlet Nexus II, and I could give them a few ideas and feedback on this first game. The first one, I would make weapons more different. Like, a lot of them are just like, this one does 3 more damage than the last one. And that's boring. Like, if you're gonna do weapons and have them be slightly better, maybe make them have downsides, or give them different elemental effects, or they get a bonus for certain things. Having different weapons for the sake of having different weapons is kind of lame, in my opinion. It's just like, oh, I need to get new gear for everyone because level ups. Let's get to a new chapter. So you can exchange for new weapons. It usually requires the weapon you have and some items you've ripped violently from monsters, along with their light bulb head thing. I don't ask questions. See, I just enjoy the game. The weapons are the first thing. Different status ailments, maybe have a weapon that causes things like paralyzation or enhance paralyzation while it's up. Give some player choice there if that's what you want to do. Have better base combat abilities for the characters. Like, being able to throw things at people, wicked. Having a 3-string combo with 2 different endings, fine. I think a down thrust or something like that from the start would be nice. Having to buy it is a little funky. Because I kept trying to do it because I just expected it to work the way it does in like Devil May Cry, where it's like the heavy attack when you're up, which I expect most games to work. But this game doesn't have heavy and light attacks. It's got like a regular attack and a retreating attack. But you can also charge up the retreat type attack. You basically don't need to pull the to use the Y button for much attack-wise, except for the down thrust. As Asane, I did not play Yuito. Not yet, anyway. I'll probably go back and play him when I'm going back for the Game of the Year candidates and see how I feel about it then, because that's how I roll. But anyway, talking about improvements. I think that's the biggest one. It's just stuff for the sake of having stuff. Maybe have different weapon types that characters can equip. Like, yeah. Arashi's got... what is it? Bunny... It's got a stupid name. It's like Rabbit... Happy Rabbit Hugs, and it's a chainsaw. Because the powers they picked are pretty fun, actually. And I very much enjoy throwing things at people. The hyper velocity is fun. Going invisible is fun because it lets you sneak up and charge up a huge attack. Duplication is actually one of my favorites because it just lets you throw extra things, like throw 2 things for the price of 1. And that's never not fun. So maybe have more fun powers like duplication or... well, they have a fire ability. Hanabi has pyrokinetic. I don't... pyrokinesis, I believe is the correct term. Maybe look, we're talking about a science fantasy game here. I don't have much footage left, and I don't think I want to ramble anymore. Scarlet Nexus, fantastic game. I have had endless amounts of enjoyment out of it. It is one of the best this year. I highly recommend taking a look at it, and hopefully the stock issues for it will ease up a bit. I don't know if it's getting a free PS5 upgrade, but it does have smart delivery on Xbox, so if you pick it up for your Xbox One and around Christmas time, maybe get your hands on a Series X. You can play it there or buy it digitally on the store. But until next time, mata ne.